let's jump into it. Okay. I'm going to start before I go into the influencer stuff. I looked at all your pages and there's some cool things. Like I've been looking, just seeing some of the things happen with you guys. There's some tweaks you can make, but also there's some cool things like the amount of traction you can get. So like Heather, for example, dude, your Facebook lives for your showings, they're getting like 500 views.
Sweet.
You notice that?
I have not actually checked back to see what they did.
Yeah.
I have some serious work to do on getting a little smoother. Like on my first one, I was like, how do I turn this around so I can show you the freaking house? But I'm figuring it out.
No, you're doing good. So I saw you the last Facebook Live you did, unless I saw it wrong, was July 14th. So one thing I would say is you and Jenna both are good at doing the lives when you're at the place, when you're showing the place, which that's huge. I mean that, and I'm sure you're probably finding out people are intrigued about it. It usually leads to somebody asking about it, but I encourage you guys both. And again, this is a part that sometimes is uncomfortable for people. Start sharing more experiential. That's not even have to do with real estate, but showing your life. I don't know. Heck, here's a live you could do later. You sharing about, I always go back to music because I'm obsessed with music, but you talking about your music career. I mean, come on, you opened for some of the biggest names in country music. Talk about what you learned from that and what that experience is like. And there's probably a lot of new followers that don't even know that about you, do they?
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, so that's see, here's the thing. We're looking for things that are relatable. As people, we're always looking for things, how we can relate with somebody else. Now, we can't always relate with the real estate agent. We all can't always relate with the business person, but we can relate with something that has to do with music. We can relate with something like, who doesn't listen to music? We can relate to our obstacles. We can relate to our pains because we all have them. So always putting out content that's relatable. So Heather, the one thing I want you to do is, well, two things. One, that video we shot together about you sharing your journey and stuff, I want you to get that out. I don't know what it takes to get, Jenny will probably have to help you. Cut that baby, publish it out, get it out.
Okay.
And then also in the next couple of days, today's Tuesday, I challenge you in the next couple of days, get a Facebook Live out that talks about whether it's music or whatever. You don't have to do music. I always go to that. But something that's not doing a Facebook Live, beyond doing just the showing the house. Still do the house thing, but I want you to do more of you. I want to see you. Everybody wants to see you. Awesome. Okay, good. And then another one, and while I'm talking to Heather, I'll just go into it. So I know it's probably, you're not used to it yet, and I'll just acknowledge it for you. The Instagram, I know it's a little different place. I encourage you to try it. The reason why is, man, there's so much opportunity on Instagram right now. I know it's different and it's Facebook Live is more comfortable. I mean, for everybody here, I know Jenna, I've been seeing she's doing a lot more stories and stuff, but I will sell Instagram is like, it's insane the amount of opportunity that is coming from it. So you don't want to miss out on the opportunity that could lead to more business sales. Okay. Any questions on that, Heather?
Oh, I think.
You know what you need to do? You gotta eat the frog. You gotta jump into it and do it.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. David, so for you, you're doing your Facebook Lives, and this is something for everybody too. When you do your Facebook Lives, I saw you did one yesterday. You just went live. Instead of just going live, put a title that briefly gives you a glimpse about what you're going to talk about. That'll help you get more views, because it's like this, it's like a, what do you call it? It's an intriguing thing to get their attention. Attention getter. It's some kind of title, some kind of, so for example, if you're walking down the beach and you put walking down the beach and 3 lessons I learned in life that could apply to you. Just something simple to the point, but it lets people know what you're going to talk about, so they're more likely to click on it.
Because there's tons of people just talking into it. But if you put a header there,
do a header. So you're good at David. Just you're good at putting out lives, but be more intentional in terms of what you're going to talk about, in terms of putting the point, the title, it'll help you get more views.
Okay.
But I like how you're showing your insight of everything you're doing. You're doing a lot of experiential, which is good.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
For Heather and Jenna, for both of you, for your business page, the last Facebook Live you guys have on your business page is when is it? I don't know.
Probably
It was
when
like,
you were here.
well, there was one more, I think, on the 14th. But I would encourage your team. I know it's intimidating, it can be, but I would encourage you to get your team involved with doing some lives, because they were all great on camera when I met them. They just got to press the button. And I think you could honestly be the coach for them in terms of getting them comfortable to share what they're doing. I mean, I feel bad. I can't think of her name right now. Who shared about the horses and stuff?
Rachel. Mm-hmm.
Rachel. For her, anytime she goes live, she can share about horses, because at the end of the day, those are the people she wants to attract.
Yeah.
And then, what's the golfer's name? Jared. He can share about golfing. Jared, who's on their team, was a professional golfer, and now he's a real estate agent. But that could be just something he could talk about. Have them talk about what they enjoy. They don't have to talk outside their comfort zone. But showing more of your team, think about the different groups that they can reach that you and Jenna might not be able to reach, and vice versa. So anytime you're talking, other people are going to like other people for other reasons, because they can relate in different ways. The more they can talk in your business page, the more you're going to be able to connect with other people, which will build the success of your team. Okay. Good. Who's putting stuff on LinkedIn?
I have not been putting that much on LinkedIn.
Okay.
To help me with that, I have put some stuff out there. When I was doing pure business stuff, I was putting some stuff out there. Is it okay on LinkedIn to put more personal life, social media type of stuff on there?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it is a business area. I feel like Instagram and Facebook are more like social, but I still do personal stuff on LinkedIn, and people are still reacting to it. I do tend to do more business stuff on there, but just building awareness on there, because there usually is a different group of people that are on or LinkedIn.
You know, man, I'm getting close to, I could be at 9,000 connections on there very soon.
I noticed that you have a lot of people on LinkedIn. You need to be, I mean, by putting out content, you can tap into the audience. You can re-engage them.
Yeah, I need to do that and be very intentional about it.
Yeah. And maybe what you do for LinkedIn, David, is it's doing quick little business talks, like talking about inflation, talking about doing 2-minute talks and putting it on LinkedIn.
That's something I actually feel comfortable doing, like business talks for like a minute. And that's a comfort zone for me. That's something I just made a note of that. That's definitely something I need to tap into in the next couple of weeks. Okay.
Good. Before, well, one thing, I guess, Jonathan will watch the replay. Miller will be joining us. One thing that Jonathan's doing now that I told him to do, he's at an event right now, and he's recording content while he's with people, and he's with some influencers and people that are big in the space. So he's creating content with them, and he's even getting some people on Facebook Live. He's asking them questions. That's another thing. When you guys are going to events, it's an opportunity for you to, it's like crowdsourcing. You're getting crowd content sourcing. You're grabbing content from people that are around you that you normally wouldn't see. One of the things I like about traveling is it's always getting new content. You look at YouTubers, they're always traveling to get the new picture and video and all that stuff. When I'm traveling, I'm meeting new people and I'm getting different content, and it's switching up my life. It's actually, I notice on my stories, my viewers go way up while I'm traveling, because it's new content, it's experiential, it's a journey, and I'm showing them into my life. So when you guys do travel, or if you're going to different places, think of that as creating new valuable content or experiences for your followers. Take advantage of it.
And Brandon, to your point earlier about tagging people,
yeah,
like, if I get a Facebook Live with some of these guys this weekend, I should be tagging them.
So for the Facebook Live, you can tag them. But the easy thing about the easy thing about doing Instagram stories is when you put their handle in the story, they can easily, it'll show up in their inbox and all they have to do is add the story.
Yep.
And so like Sunday, I was at this event with Tim Story and all these amazing people are there. And I had probably 5 of them who were all verified, all influential people in their space that reposted their story, which got me more followers from their stories. I probably gained 100 followers on Sunday just from that because they wanted content and it was me getting content to them. So they're more likely to share if it's content to them so they can use your content and put it to their story, which does a favor to them, but in return gives you more viewership.
Okay. And on Instagram, when you're doing stories, you have to make sure you put the handle in before you hit post, right?
So yeah, so like right here. So like I'm doing a story, I'm pressing it, and then you don't let it go to the story yet. You can hear it replay. While it's replaying, you put the let's say Brandon T. Adams, you move the handle wherever you want it. So you move to the bottom. You can see in my last post how mine look. And then you put your story and then it'll tag that person. You can tag up to I think 9 people or 10 people in a story where they can repost it.
Okay. And on Facebook Live, you do the same thing. You tag them before you post it, right?
Yeah, you have to tag them before you go live. I don't know if you can do it after. I'm not usually tagging people in a Facebook Live. Sometimes I do. But usually people don't put it to their page. So like for me, I'm very protective on what goes on my page. I have people tagging me every day. But depending if it makes sense to go on my page, and then I'll let it go. Otherwise, I won't.
That makes sense. And photos possibly are another good opportunity to.
Same thing, photos. I mean, so that's why maybe you guys want to do this too. People might be tagging you all the time, and if it just shows up on your page. I remember when they used to do the sunglasses thing, like, hey, order 100 sunglasses or whatever it was, and they tagged 99 people, which was so annoying. And then I started just making it so people couldn't tag. They could tag me, but it wouldn't show up on my page unless I approved it.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, that's for that. Any other general questions in terms of social media, posting videos, or creating content? And if you do have questions, please ask.
I'm going to create a new business page pretty soon, Brandon. I clicked delete on mine, and it said it will delete in 2 weeks. So there was some sort of control because Loan Depot built that business page. Where I couldn't see the name of it that they had. So I'm just going to delete it and start a fresh one with my own style. And
you can create it now, can't you?
I can. Yeah. I can create it now.
Just create it now so you don't have to wait for the other one to delete.
That's true. Yep. I will create that now.
Might as well get it sooner or later.
Yeah.
And then once we meet in LA in can you believe it's 23 days away. When we meet in 23 days, you have at least the foundation of a page, and then there's a great time to create content with some cool people.
Nice. Yep. I will get that. I will get that created ASAP.
Okay. So by Sunday or so?
Before then, because I want to get it done by.
Let's do Thursday night.
Yep. Thursday night.
Okay. Okay. So let's go into the influencer thing. I caught myself before I sent the email this morning that said we're going to talk about becoming an influencer because I hate the word influencer. But there is something. The reason I hate it, where I dislike it, because everybody's using it online. They're an influencer, but they never actually built some kind of business, which you all have built a business. Being influential in your space. I mean, I look back when I first started, I became the influencer in crowdfunding because that's what I always promoted myself as. So what you guys think about, beyond what you talk about for yourself, to the relatable topics, that's about you as a human, the other topics are what you're an expert in. As you constantly talk about it online over time, more people are going to know you as being that expert. So when you're always talking about doing these different things that are around you being an expert in that, people are going to know you as a go-to person for that. So here's some few things. And if you guys have questions about some of these, please ask me because I've done all of them and they all are very valuable. So the first one way to become an influencer, or like seeing more of a kind of, you could say celebrity. Again, that word is kind of cheesy sometimes, but it's like, hey, 99% of the population, if some of the things I'm going to talk about, they see you as, they're like, oh, they must be a celebrity because they're doing these certain things that most people don't do. They just don't know what they don't know. So writing a book. In your space, I mean, there's many ways. You can push out a book that's a simple book that's like, it could be 50 to 100 pages. That could be on like,
An Eric Swanson 30-page book.
yeah, I mean, you could. So, I mean, yeah, you could do it. I have different views on that now, but I will tell you, I'll admit, in 2015, I published a book that had 70 some pages. And I wrote it in 3 days, and it was all around crowdfunding. I did it through Amazon. It cost me literally like nothing. And I had a book on crowdfunding, and that book actually allowed me to get on morning shows because I had a tangible book. There was local morning shows that wanted me to come on because they thought, well, I have a book. I definitely got to be an expert. And at that time, I had only done one campaign. Sometimes I laugh about this because I was like building the brand before I even really knew what I was talking about. But these are some things you can do. So Jenna and Heather, both of you, you could co-create a book together, just like Samantha and I are doing right now. You could pick what chapters you each want to talk about. You could talk about real estate. You could talk about your journey yourself. And you could literally write that out. It could be a couple hundred pages. Take a picture together, get a good one together, put it on the cover, and there's your book on real estate. And it does up level your profile. But also what it could do is if you guys talk about your own journeys, like we've shared on camera before, if you literally share your own journeys of what you've been through as whether a musician or a business person that led you to real estate, it's a way to you can give to your potential clients, and they see that, hey, like you have a book, they're more likely to list with you versus somebody else. And the same for you, David. You get a book, hey, they're going to more likely go to you than their competitor because you wrote a book on it. Like that makes you this credible person, this influencer.
And just, I have a 1-day hangout with Eric Swanson that's already, it says we haven't booked the date, but it's already a done deal. That's all about writing the book.
Good.
He's going to help me with ironing out my ideas, what basically we're going to come out of there with the book, itemize the chapters and the outline of it.
Well, good. And if any of you want to, at a separate time, want to jump on a call, and I'm serious, if you want to talk specifically just about the book, let me know. I'll jump on a call with you and I'll brainstorm. I've been a part of a lot of books, and now as of probably tonight, finishing 70,000 word book. I will tell you, like, I understand the process, and I'm by no far any means like a Jack Canfield, but I can tell you I understand how to structure it and how to create a book, and I can help you guys in structuring your own book. I think it's powerful. Honestly, from my own experience, it's been very therapeutic. It actually has allowed me to have a lot of aha moments because I'm writing about stuff that I had experienced, but as I write it out, I actually totally forgot about certain things that happened to me. I think for the same for you guys. It's powerful, writing a book. Beyond writing the book, you can do blogging. That makes it easier. You can blog shorter content. Maybe you write one page. You have some inspiration. You write a page about a certain topic. Those pages could actually build up to a book. But you can talk about real estate business. You can talk about the financial industry. Again, whatever you put out there to the world, whatever you constantly put content about, that's what you're going to be seen as a go-to person.
And Brandon, I know blogging was really big like 10, 15 years ago. If a person was doing a blog today, where would they put that? Just a website?
So you could do on your website. It helps with SEO. Medium.com, LinkedIn, publish articles. And then there's other sites you can do, but Medium is the easy one, and LinkedIn. And to make it really easy, you can multi-purpose it. You can copy and paste the content and post it to 2-3 different platforms.
medium.com.
Like the size Medium. Yeah, Medium. 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 Okay. So the next thing, which we always talk about, is video. Putting out video content, talking about what you're an expert in helps. Another one that can help you in your local market is going on a local morning show. So it's not as hard as you think. It's very intimidating, but it's not as hard as you think. If you guys want, again, we can jump on a call. I can help you get on a morning show. I can almost guarantee you that I can get you on the morning show.
Wow.
Don't tell me Good Morning America because that's a hard one.
I've been on, my voice has been on Good Morning America.
I know it has,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I want to see it again.
and I was on NBC News when I was in 5th grade too.
Well, we're talking about now.
I know.
So a local morning show. I'm just thinking of Jenna and Heather in your market. There's KCRG TV9. Is that the one of? Yeah. So like,
Yep.
so I don't know what their morning shows are. You could literally do a little bit of research and see what their morning shows are, and every thing has a different structure. But you could talk about a certain topic that adds value to their list or their viewers. And I don't know, going back to school, like so there's always different topics. And I think we talked about this before. There's timeliness, hooks. So there's different themes that happen throughout the year. And if you can create content and pitch a story that's around a theme throughout the year, they're more likely to have you on. So right now we're getting close to back to school. So anything that could do with real estate or financial that has to do with back to school, you can create a topic around that. They're more likely to have you on. Once we get into later in the year, it could be different holidays. You have Christmas, you have Thanksgiving, you have all these different things. Heck, you look at the news, they always literally holidays I didn't even know existed. They'll come up with something, they'll talk about it. If you can be the person that shows them a story that is valuable to their audience, it's actually doing their job for them, because it's work for them to actually put a story together. They're looking for stories. Have you guys been on TV before?
Yes.
When were you on TV?
We were doing, it was back when I was promoting band stuff, band shows, different benefits that I was helping organize for people in the community those types of things.
Okay. So did you play on air?
Yeah, it was out
Cool.
on the news. Yeah.
So you might even know some people that are still working there.
Yes.
So then it's a lot easier for you to reach out and say, hey, here's a story.
Yes.
Well, I encourage you to do it. And we can even do a strategy beyond what the story would look like. I can help you create the pitch.
Okay.
It's being simple. What were you going to say?
We have an event in September coming up. It's a public event where our team is going to host it in hopes, to stay top of mind and just do something fun for our clients and people that someday might be our clients. And so we're putting on an event with entertainment and like food trucks and stuff for kids and whatever. So maybe
Get promotion for that?
Yeah.
What kind of entertainment?
A band, a local / regional lady that tours. Her name is Elizabeth. She was on American Idol. She made it pretty far. She made it, I think, to the 3rd or 4th round. I don't know. And and she's continuing forward with her touring dreams, and she's doing well.
There could be something cool there, Heather, because you were touring before too. There could be this cool little collaboration where you both go on TV together, and then what you could do, and I don't know, I'm just talking out loud, but it could talk something around music, and then at the end, obviously, like, hey, well, you're going to be playing tonight, and you can even say, which I'm sure you'd be open to doing, is you'll even be singing a song that night.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So
that would be fun.
I like that. You'll have to send me a link to this singer, and we'll brainstorm.
I will.
I think that'd be a cool morning show.
Awesome.
Okay. David, for you too, anything around, again, just thinking about a timely thing that is top of mind for a lot of people. And this is why you guys are establishing your profiles online. Because what happens is if you're pitching to a producer, they're going to look at all your stuff and they're going to see if you're actually legit. Because if you're not, they're not going to have you on. They don't want just anybody on. So creating some kind of, how I usually do it is like 3 main topics you talk about. Literally 3 main topics you talk about, right to the point. And just know, like, usually your segment is anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 minutes. It's very short. Very rare does it go longer. It just depends on what the morning show structure is. I've been on some that are like literally just under 2 minutes. So you got to talk fast, and you got to get your point across, and you got to take control of the conversation. So again, going on TV locally is a great way to become like a celebrity in your city, to become an influencer. Because, I mean, honestly, these cities, like, even if there's a couple 100,000 people or 100,000, when you go on TV, everybody watches that station. So it does help you with building your profile.
Yeah.
Okay, another one for building your influencer status in your region or your area you're in is going on radio shows. Have you guys been on radio shows?
I have not, but there's a guy named Brandon T. Adams who wants us to create our own
Podcast show, yeah. That's way. Heather, you've been on radio shows, right?
Yes. I have a couple friends. Well, I have a friend that is still a DJ on a local radio station.
What station?
96.5 Kiss Country.
Oh, nice. That's a big station, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Cat Fox is her name. We absolutely could hop on there at some time.
Tap into it. I mean, use your music background. I mean, your music background can get you into a lot of opportunities. Hey, you worked hard. You grinded to get that experience. Leverage the fuck out of it.
Okay.
And again, we've talked about podcasting before. I mean, that's another thing. If you're an expert in a certain area, you can get on podcast shows. It's actually not that difficult to get on podcast shows. You just got to create, again, it's your brand and having a one-sheeter talking about what you're going to talk about.
So, Brandon, what's interesting about what you're saying, all these points you're giving, I've gotten to watch my friend Andy Dane Carter, who spoke. He was the first speaker in Anaheim on Think and Grow Rich. That's a guy I know since 7th grade. Out of the blue, he started doing all of these. And I know he had a mentor, like yourself, you know what I mean? But he went all in and started doing every single one of these. Wrote his book. He's been on local shows, and now he's created this big following, and it's just snowballed to where he just does it all. He's doing it all, more of it, bigger audiences, bigger venues. So he's built this big snowball. But these are the steps that he took, every single one that you're talking about.
I mean, it's a proven system. I just did it all because, honestly, I didn't know what building a brand was back then. It was me. I didn't have any money, and I just wanted to get my word out. So I found out that it worked. And then after doing more and more of it, they called it building your brand. And then it got opportunities. And I saw how people reacted to the little things, like going on TV or these shows. And it gives this different, like, sexy thing about you that makes people more likely to work with you versus somebody else. Allure. Yeah. So this stuff works. I mean, pick one, you do it, you go to the next one. So those top 3 are big ones. So writing a book, going on a morning show, or going on a radio show, like, those are some big ones that help build your status and you become this influencer and go-to person. And it's more than just helping you in your niche, but it also opens up other opportunities for you. It opens up opportunities to go speak at events. It opens up opportunities for you to do things outside of your industry in the future. So now, I mean, earlier in my career, I was all crowdfunding, but then I was able to transition into video and doing other things, doing the speaking and the TV show. Now, it makes it easier for you to transition out of your brand. Now, I'm not saying that you guys are going to transition anytime soon, but let's say if 10 years from now, you want to make a change. If you have a brand, it's going to be a lot easier to do it. And you're going to be glad that you built up that brand, because you look at some of these people that become so famous in their niche, and then all of a sudden you see them thrown into a movie because, like, they're known for their thing. What's their one thing that You look at Gary Keller's book, One Thing. Like, you do your one thing, you become good at it, you become known for it, and then you can literally do any other thing you want to.
Niches to riches.
Yes.
I've seen that. I have a buddy who has been getting up at 4 a.m. and perfecting his morning ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's like a morning ritual expert. It's like his passion. It's crazy. I mean, and there's people out there selling these products on morning rituals. And I'm like, bro, 10 times more than this guy's selling this. But I could see how easy it is to take that niche and do these things with it because he has a specialty where he's an expert.
Well, you see, a person that's selling it, they're better at marketing themselves. So, like, look at it. It's 90% marketing, 10% product for a lot of things out there for in the info product world. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can build up your brand enough and be perceived as the best person, I mean, again, we all want to be the best at what we do. But what I'm saying is, if somebody can market it better, and they're going to get more sales than the person that may know everything about what they do, but they don't know how to market it. So why not be both? Why not be the best at what you do? And if you truly believe that you're the best at what you do, don't you believe that it's your duty to ensure others work with you? So to ensure that they work with you is you do the things that will literally make it a no-brainer for them to work with you versus your competitor. Like going and writing a book that makes you different than everybody else. Going on a morning show. Like, hey, my agent goes on a morning show. I'd rather go with her because she's on a TV morning show or a radio show. They're bragging about you. When they start bragging about you and telling others about you, that means that they're proud to say that they're working with you. This is what happens when you do these different things.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily the most intelligent person in their industry or the biggest expert in the industry. It's the person who brings what they have to give to market more efficiently.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Be seen as the best. Yeah. Okay. The next one is putting on events or going to events. So for one, when you go to events, I do this a lot. If I'm not speaking an event or if I go to a good friend's event, I meet all the people that I can. And I get into opportunities where we network and we partner and we take pictures. Like Sunday night, I went to Tim Story's event and got to be in with all these ballers. And it's because I showed up, I went there, and opportunities came. So show up to different events, the people you know, or put on your own events. I know Heather's got an event coming up in September. So that is a way that helps build her brand, the go-to person. And you don't have to put on a big fancy event. It could be a small event. It could be a coffee meetup. When I lived in Des Moines, a lot of things they did, I went to these every Wednesday, every Tuesday, they would do a coffee meetup. And it was like around the circle kind of mastermind. And people exchanged cards. But one person was known for doing that. And all it was a coffee meetup. It cost them no money. Everybody bought their own coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly becoming the go-to person.
5:30 in the morning coffee meetup.
Hey, I missed it last weekend. Did you go?
No. I put two and two together because he's like, yeah. The guy sitting next to me, he's like, I put in these 5:30 a.m. coffee meetings. I think that's the guy Brandon met.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
By the way, I really appreciate you inviting me to that group, and now I made some good friends when I was there.
Good.
And now I'm going to stay connected with them. So
good. Yeah, Heather and Jenna, when you watch, or Jonathan. So last Thursday, I got invited to speak at a VIP dinner. So they do one a month. They bring in a guest, and then there's like 30 or 40 people in the room, and you have dinner, people talk, and then the guest does a fireside chat kind of thing. So I was a guest, and it was just this unique thing. And other people came in. One of the things I want to do is invite all the friends I knew in the area. So I had David come in, I had James come in, I had Steven, I had Jeremy, I had a couple people, my friends come in. So now that if I'm the guest of the dinner and I bring my friends in, I don't have to network with anybody, not everybody, because what happens is my friends that I brought, people say, oh, who invited you? Well, Brennan did. And then you're more likely to talk about me. It's a better way to build relationships with everybody in the room without talking to them. But again, just another way. Events are good.
Yeah.
Last one is the simple one, which you should do anyways, is delivering value. When you deliver value to the right people, like very influential people, and you become associated with them, your more likely to be seen as the person they are, of their level. So I'm always showing up to opportunities where there are people that are like the big shots in their industry, and I'm friends with them. So when I come to the event, they know me, and I've helped them enough. I've found ways to help them in many ways. They're more likely to mention me at the event. They're more likely to say something about me. So then I'm perceived as this, whatever you want to call it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Relationships. Just like Heather, I mean, here's an example. Anytime you opened up for a band, that's huge branding. Like, people, as a musician, like I know the backside of the industry, which is crazy, because a lot of my videographers were, they filmed with artists or they were singers. There was opportunities where people would pay to get on stage and open up for a band. They literally, their parents would pay for them to open up for a major band because they were paying the expenses. Like, they might've paid 40, 50 grand, but it paid for the expenses. So there was a different kind of value that was there.
Wow.
Did you ever experience it, Heather? Where people did that?
Paying to open?
Well, not you, but like, have you seen other people do that?
So I guess I didn't know that you could buy a spot. It makes sense. We never had an investor behind us like that. But
well, I mean, you're the kind of person too, like I would never pay. I would just express how good I am and find other ways to add value. But there is that world where people do that. But the point I'm getting at is, if you are talented at what you do, you have a good enough brand, and you are connected with the influential people, you're gonna get on that stage. You're not gonna have to pay for it. But there are people that because their parents have a lot of money and they can do it, they'll buy their way to the fame.
yeah. Okay. Yes, I see where
I don't believe in it,
you're going
but,
with that.
but people do it.
Heck yeah.
So the point is, you don't need to buy your way to the fame. What you need to do is you just need to put in the real grind and energy to build relationships with the right people.
Yes.
I'll never forget. I got one of the coolest opportunities, one of my biggest speaking gigs, is because I had built a relationship with Kevin Harrington, and he called in a favor for me, and I got to literally keynote right before him. And they had me on the main keynote with him because Kevin said, "Hey, this guy, need to have him." And that phone call got me on the stage. And so little things like that. Think about, if you build up connections with the right people, they can get you on the stages. They can get you on the morning shows. They can get you on the radio stations. It's all who you know. Okay. Those are the ways. Wait one sec. Those are the ways that you can really build up your brand. You can become the influencer in your industry, that word influencer. Any questions on any of those things that I just blurted out? Does that all make sense?
Yes.
It's very good, man. Very good stuff. It's a very good roadmap. It's up to us to take the action, though.
You know? It is. And now, let's go around. If you guys are going to pick one area to focus on, besides the video, because that's given, like, you guys got to create the video anyways. But if you're going to pick one of the areas between a book, going on a morning show, going on a radio show, putting on your own event, like, which one you guys, what would be one you want to focus on?
I like the radio and TV idea. Yeah.
I think TV would be cool for you. You'd be good at it. What about you, David?
I'm already pretty committed to writing a book. I have a lot of ideas in my head. I think my goal, though, is to impact people and then to drive them to make a decision.
Yeah.
So, and then put myself there as the expert. So that is kind of what I need to focus this thing on. So I've already committed to this day. I already have this outline. I already have you there who will help me after that. There's a few publishers lined up who can help you to write it, get the book cover, get it out there. So I think I need to step up and do that. Although here's the thing, I don't want to be like a book guy where people just sit around and talk ideas. I want it to be more action.
Yeah.
To lead into more of these arenas you're talking about. I don't want it to be just an intellectual book of stories where people sit around and talk about different intellectual ideas. I'd rather just be more action oriented and lead to these other things we're talking about.
But when you are sharing like the action steps, also share stories that can case studies or stories that can make it easier for them to want to read it. So they're when they can be entertained and intrigued, they're more likely to learn. That's why storytelling is powerful, because it helps people understand something. Because if it's just like straight out content without like a kind of a little entertainment behind it, people are less likely to consume the content.
When I sold gold and silver, and I found some of the more successful guys on the phone, they used metaphors, stories a lot.
Yeah.
They used metaphors, quite frankly, like for, yeah, in selling gold and silver, there would be all kinds of little phrases, little catchphrases, stories. So yeah.
Yeah, well, stories are powerful. That's why I always urge you guys. Once it's done, I'll send you guys. Sean Vella wrote a chapter in our book, and it's so good. It's all about storytelling, and it has a really good meaning behind it. And he actually tells a story the whole time, but it makes you all understand why there's a power in telling stories in your videos, and why it's relatable, and it's more likely people can relate, and then it calls to action. So once I get that back from the editor, I'll send it to you guys before it goes out.
Cool, man. Yeah, like one of the stories this old guy used to tell. He was this old, real small, skinny salesperson, but he was like the expert on the phone. Been selling gold and silver for like 40 years. And he would, when I was a kid, my grandfather would take me to the store, and you could buy 20 candy bars with a nickel, 20 with $1 because they're a nickel each, And I take my little daughter to the store today. So, when I was a kid, I could buy 20 of them with $1 bill, and now you can only buy one, and now it's not even one you can buy.
It's crazy.
$1, but little stories, little quick stories like that put things in perspective.
The more you can be master storytellers, the more you're going to be able to sell. Steve Jobs is one of the best at it. He was really good at telling stories. Some of the best ads on TV are stories. Storytelling sells. And it's really quite easy when you think about it, because when you're just talking about your own story or you're sharing experiences, you're storytelling. In most of your experiences, if you're become an expert in what you do, you've done a lot of it. So if you sold a lot of homes, you got a lot of damn good stories you can share. If you sold a lot of financial services or whatever it is, you have a lot of stories. Whatever it is you do, like, just share those experiences. Those are the powerful stories that people will buy into. And along the way, you start forming other stories that you can communicate. And then you can actually take stories from other experiences or other people and then share them in your talks. I'm always looking for more stories and like lessons that I've learned and sharing it, because it's cool.
Right on, man. Did Heather hop off?
No, sorry.
She's there.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Well, we got a lot there. Do you guys have any other questions on any of that?
We're good, man.
Besides, I want you guys to take action.
Yep.
I'm going to be really watching you. I'm not traveling for a few weeks, so I'll be looking at what you're doing. I've been watching, but I want to see you guys do some more content. Do those Facebook Lives.
FYI, Brandon, I met with the big attorney yesterday. He said, go about life. So
Good.
I can go back to doing whatever I want.
Good for you. If you guys haven't got a hotel yet, I know you live in the area, David, but Marina Del Rey Hotel is close to where our venue is for the event. Marina Del Rey, and then there's Hotel Marina. There's like two of them in that area. There's also a Ritz, but that's probably really expensive. But the Marina Del Rey is one, and I was just actually with yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Wes Denning, and talking about some of the stuff he's going to go over. Dude, he's right now, his show, I'm excited for you guys to learn from him. His show, Holy Moly, is a top show on TV right now. 10 million viewers the first episode that released. 5 million is a hit. 10 million is what it's at. And he was just explaining how they brought the whole production together. They had to build these courses. They had to like bring in, like, cast all these people. He's talking about how obviously they got Stephen Curry, and Rob Riglow is his name. I mean, literally got all these people in to build this show from scratch. And now they're looking at doing it internationally. And the reason why I think that'll be powerful for you guys to learn from that is because it shows what it takes to create a high level of production. And it'll also give you guys ideas about creating content for your own stuff. His name's, so I sent you guys an email with the structure of the event, but his name's Wes. I mean, Wes is how you say it, but it's Wes. People would spell it WES, and then Denning is DENING. You can Google him. He's actually pretty famous he used to be, I guess, really famous in Australia. He was on like Big Brother, Big Sister or something. He was on all these different shows, and then he became a producer. Steve Irwin, you know the Irwin family?
Yeah.
They produced that. They produced Top Chef, I think. You name it, they produced it.
Wow.
Cool.
But anyways, okay. Well, if you guys got anything, feel free to reach out. And again, if you guys want to talk about the book stuff or the radio or help craft a pitch for the morning show, we can set up in our call individually sometime, and I'm happy to help you guys. I'd love to see you guys all do one of those things while we're going through all this. It'd be cool to see you guys land that, because those are big things that last forever.
Right, man. Thank you. Thank you very much for your inspiration and encouragement, and also the map to getting it done, map to taking action and going to market, not just being an extra.
Take action, guys.
Yeah.
I can talk to you all day, but if you don't take action, it doesn't mean shit.
Yes.
Okay. Love you all. Until next time.
Brandon.
See ya.
Bye.